A look at investigations into federal officers months after immigration crackdown in Minnesota. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Add AP News on Google. Add AP News as your preferred source to see more of our stories on Google. Share. Minnesota has launched investigations into the actions of several federal law enforcement officers during the Trump administration's immigration crackdown in the Twin Cities. On Thursday, Hennepin County announced charges against an immigration and customs enforcement agent, Gregory Donnell Morgan Jr., accusing him of pointing his gun at a motorist and passenger on a Minneapolis highway. A local prosecutor said she believes it is the first criminal case against a federal officer involved in the Minnesota immigration crackdown. The federal government has suggested Minnesota prosecutors don't have jurisdiction to investigate federal officers. Nevertheless, Minnesota officials last month sued the administration for access to evidence for investigations into 3 shootings during the crackdown, including 2 that resulted in deaths. Here's where some of the more high-profile cases stand. Alex Pretty, a 37-year-old intensive care nurse, was one of many protesters on a commercial street on Jan. 24 when he was shot and killed by federal officers. The Trump administration said shots were fired defensively against Pretty, who federal authorities said had a semi-automatic handgun and was violently resisting officers. Multiple videos of the shooting contradict those claims, showing Pretty had only his mobile phone in his hand as officers tackled him to the ground. One of the officers removed the handgun from the back of Pretty's pants moments before another officer shot him in the back. The Justice Department said the FBI was conducting a civil rights investigation into Pretty's killing, and Customs and Border Patrol is conducting its own internal investigation. Renee Goodgood, a 37-year-old mother, was blocking a residential street with her SUV and honking her horn on Jan. 7 when immigration officers approached the vehicle. She began to pull forward, and an ICE officer standing in front of the vehicle fired at least 2 shots into the car, killing Good. The Department of Homeland Security has said the matter remains under investigation, but that footage shows Good impeded law enforcement operations and weaponized her vehicle, leading the officer to act in self-defense. Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche has said the department's Civil Rights Division does not investigate every law enforcement shooting and that there have to be circumstances and facts that warrant an investigation. Read more. Julio Cesar Sosaceles was wounded Jan. 14 when a federal officer shot his right thigh. Federal officials initially accused Sosaceles and another man of beating an ICE officer with a broom handle and a snow shovel. But federal prosecutors later dropped all charges against the men, and authorities opened a criminal investigation into whether 2 immigration officers lied under oath about the shooting. DHS has said both officers are on administrative leave as ICE and DOJ conduct a joint review. Chong-Lai-Scott-Thao Ramsey County, which includes St. Paul, is investigating federal officers' Jan. 18 arrest of Chong-Lai-Scott-Thao, an Hmong American man, as a potential case of kidnapping, burglary, and false imprisonment. ICE officers bashed open the front door of Thao's St. Paul home with guns drawn, then led him outside in just his underwear and a blanket in freezing conditions. The arrest was captured on widely shared video. Ramsey County Attorney John Choi and Sheriff Bob Fletcher said Monday that they are pursuing information from DHS, but have not been able to determine whether ICE officers had a warrant for Thao's arrest. DHS said in a statement that ICE does not kidnap people and called the county's investigation a political stunt. Other incidents in early March. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty said her office was investigating at least